How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, in better voice, the starting lineups for the visiting Cavaliers. In goal, 00, Clayton Perry. Number 8, Logan Lee. Number 10, Akil Watts. Number 11, Jamison Klein. Number 13, Jonathan Vandenacker. Number 15, Ryan Warman. Number 17, Brandon Renninger. Number 20, Alec Getz. Number 22, Cruz Garcia. Number 23, Jack Haynes. Number 24, Graham Kaufman. Cavaliers are coached by Greg Mountain. And now the starting lineup for your Blackhawk Christian Braves. In goal, sophomore, 00, Ryan Rimchisel. Number 2, senior, Aaron Brown. Number 3, senior, Keaton Calais. Number 5, senior, Levi Teamy. Number 6, senior, Malachi Picasso. Number 7, senior, Jackson Didion. Number 10, senior, Jonathan Williams. Number 11, sophomore, Nathan Weaver. Number 12, junior, Ethan Mansfield. Number 15, freshman, Michael Pulver. Number 17, freshman, Cooper Wild. And as you know, the Blackhawk Christian Braves are coached by Mr. Bob Freeborn. Let's play some soccer.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Summit City Sports telecast for you here at Blackhawk Christian High School as the number 2 ranked Canterbury Cavaliers come into Blackhawk Christian to face the 13th ranked Braves from Blackhawk Christian in the 1A. Canterbury in 2A as we get started with Canterbury kickoff. They're going to go far here to the near side to Klein. You'll see quite a bit of options for Coach Monk, Greg Monk, head coach for Canterbury Cavaliers. One of the most well-respected coaches in the state of Indiana is Coach Greg Monk. Back-to-back state titles in the 1A level. Played the last 2 years in 2A, mandatory. But they decided as a school to stay in the 2A this year to play against the big boys as Getz will get the first corner for Canterbury, right-footed outswinger. Look like Kaufman there, tried to backheel it into the top right angle. couldn't get it to go. Played 2 40-minute halves here in boys varsity soccer. This is SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. I am Tim Atkinson, giving you play-by-play. Jake Atkinson on the camera. And that'll go out to touch to the Braves. And there's their star, number 7, Jackson Didion, 10 goals, 7 assists on the year in this 2015 campaign as the Braves filter it back through the back 4, pop it back over the midline, and settle down by Renninger. And that's Klein battling. No foul as he does turn the corner on Teamy. Teamy battles back, dispossessed, but right back does Klein. Klein look for the cross, and that's going to be a tackle from the back. There'll be a penalty right outside the box for Canterbury. That will be the sensational sophomore, Keel Watts, number 10, coming over. Great pair of sophomores of Akeel Watts and Logan Lee for Coach Monk. As Akeel Watts, right-footed free kick. Look for Getz off the head. Flick back towards the far flag and out for a goal kick.
Good work, Blue. Good work.
37-20 to play, 0-0 your score. We are at Blackhawk Christian High School. Goal kick comes out to the midfield, headed up by Getz. And Renninger filters it back to Perry. Perry finds Kaufman. That was Vandenacker on the left side. They got Coach Mock has a outstanding back line in those left back. And Vandenacker and right back in Cruz Garcia. Outstanding players for Coach Mock. They are 7-0-2 on the year for Canterbury. Blackhawk Christian comes in 5-3-2. As I mentioned, in the 1A, playing as an independent. Both schools are independents. Coaching Blackhawk Christian is Bob Freeborn, as that's the Braves' best chance, but that's picked up by Renninger. Out to Watts, who gives a nice flick to Kaufman. Kaufman looks for Lee, and this is where Lee can get some space. If he can get the ball out into some open area for Logan Lee, he's one of the quickest players in the city. He can get by about anybody. That's turned over. And here comes Lee. Back to Watts. Lee dummied it. Getz. Klein does get it. Garcia gets with the right-footed boot. And Perry down nicely by the sophomore goalkeeper, Reem Shizzle. Sky ball near midfield. Falls down harmlessly. Vandenacker off his head. Here come the Cavs as Watts pressures. As you have to be sound defensively in the back 4 against this Cavalier attack, as they can come at you from all angles. There's Lee, Garcia. Look for the through ball there to Klein, couldn't get it to him. Getz heads it back towards the box, swept out. Warmer. Lee. Here comes Pulver. He's just a freshman, number 15. Gave it to a senior, Jonathan Williams, but here comes Cruz Garcia as that gets knocked out to touch to Canterbury. Ball has been in the attacking zone for Canterbury through the first 6 minutes of this match, as Logan Lee is very crafty on the ball. Try to give it back heel around the defender, but was cut off. Good give and go with Picasso and Pulver. There's Watts. Getz. Here's Lee. Lee just missed touch on the ball, picked up by Didion. Jackson Didion looked forward, couldn't get it to him, picked up by Watts to Lee. Lee has Klein, but taken away nicely by number 11, Nathan Weaver, the sophomore. That was sophomore battle as Cruz Garcia doesn't mess around, puts it up the sideline, and that's going to ricochet off number 5, Teamy, the senior. Throw in for Canterbury. Right away, here comes Lee. Looked for Watts, didn't have him, was cut off nicely by Mansfield. There's Renninger, doesn't messing around on that as he knocks it out to touch to the Braves. Williams is going to drop for the throw in to Teamy, the senior, into Didion, their high goal scorer with 10 goals on the year through the first 10 games. Not a mathematician, but seems like that's 1 goal per game. Also a potent 7 assists as here they come, cross in, but there's nobody there for the Braves as that went harmlessly behind the goalie, and Clayton Perry out for a goal kick. 32:50 to play in this first half. Number 2 ranked in the Class 2A Canterbury Cavaliers. 0-0 in a battle here against Blackhawk Christian High School, ranked number 13 in the Class 1A. 2 private schools here in the Fort Wayne, Indiana area. As Lee couldn't get it down to Getz, picked up by the Braves, and Didion, look at the quickness. Here comes Jackson Didion, through ball, and wasn't marked up with Williams, but Cruz Garcia, I'm telling you what, he gets to a lot of 50-50 balls for Coach Maul, because that was beautiful little toe stop there by Klein. Logan couldn't get it to Watts, and he's offsides. Michael Pulver, the freshman, just a foot or 2 offside. Free kick towards here for Canterbury, 0-0. Renninger.
Let's go,
Outstanding senior. Mentioned the talent here on the Canterbury side. Akil Watts, just a sophomore, as a freshman, was honorable mention All-State here in the state of Indiana. Lee looked to flick it, but no one there. Klein was still held up on the near sideline. Reem Shizzle with the boot. He gets some height on those kicks. Headed, and that's Warman. Ryan Warman in place of the talented senior Max Moyle. Not sure if Moyle's out with an injury or what. As Haynes finds Watts. Kaufman knocked out by the Braves. Throw in Canterbury. Vandenacker. There's Haynes, back to Vandenacker. Haynes. Looked for the long ball to Klein, but gets his head and possibly half his hair got involved and broke that up, as that through ball was meant for no one. As that was off from Jonathan Williams here on the near side, number 10 in white. Cruz Garcia to throw it into Klein. Klein just got enough of the head to get it to Lee, but strong on the ball was Teamy, but Lee dispossessed him and regained. Warman looking to push, taken away. That was Mansfield. Mansfield looking far side and cleared out by Vandenacker. That was number 6, Malike Picasso, making a nice run on the far sideline. There's a ball. I was trying to go in here near side to number 10, Jonathan Williams. Couldn't get it to him. Williams does track it down. Rattles off the shoulders. Williams looks like he just got a touch on the toe. Is trying to walk it off. Looks okay. Cruz Garcia finds Lee. Haynes gets, and that's a battle, and that's going to be a foul called on Jackson Didion. That's senior on senior matchup in the midfield. Headed up. It's Watts. Warman looks to get it to Kaufman. Left it for Watts. Watts couldn't shield it quick enough. As you see the recovery speed there by the defensive back line for Canterbury, and especially their left and right back, Garcia and Vandenacker. Of course, the anchor on that defense is number 17, the senior Brandon Renninger. Normally that's an all-senior back line, but with Moyle out and the sophomore Warman in to replace him, a little more youth. Missed the experience from Moyle. As Perry will take the goal kick. We're knotted up. It's 0-0, 28.5 to play here in this first half. We are at Blackhawk Christian. Didion hits it back in. There's Renninger to chest it down. That was a nice piece of dribbling there by Haynes. But Lee turned it over. Didion look for the through ball. Look at the angle of that ball as Vandenacker is there still. Good ball out to Kaufman. Kaufman to Watts. Haynes. Garcia making a run. So was Lee. Cut off by Brown. Didion. Pulver. Didion. Off the knee and knocked down. No foul called. 50-50 ball got by Canterbury, and that one there by the Braves. That was Keaton Clay and Aaron Brown playing keep away as Graham Kaufman just about did grab possession as Renninger's there to put it back in the attack mode. Good shield. Look at that ball there to Watts from Lee. 27-15 to play. Possession here for Canterbury. Akil Watts, nice fake. Here's Kaufman, let it roll to the right foot, cut off by the Braves. Vandenacker. That was Jackson Didion, just got to that ball quicker. It's Pulver, that's a through ball, he's on the side. Renninger trying to stay with Williams as he does stay with him and clear it out. That was Jonathan Williams. He does have 4 goals on the year for Coach Bob Freeborn, who was honored at the beginning of the game, pregame, for his 500th varsity boys soccer match. That has been coaching since 1985. And as I mentioned, took Blackhawk Christian to the first ever semi-state last year in the 1A. Lee, nice piece of dribbling, still has it, drag, went with the right foot and a whistle. Looks like they called that an offside. Not sure who they called it on because Logan Lee had possession of the ball the entire time. Didn't look like he attempted a pass, but either way.
Ben Kuntz, Logan Schreiber, and Braden West in for the Cavaliers.
Let's go, kid!
Now, you'd think when Canterbury subs, they'll get a little weaker, but there's not the case here for Coach Mock, as there's one example right there is Schreiber. He will come in and pressure that ball as Klein looks for him, and that's just too heavy as that will roll out for a goal kick. 25.5 to play in the first. 0-0 your score. No real chances, maybe one real chance for Canterbury on the right foot it gets. But Reem Shizzle, the keeper for Blackhawk Christian, was there and parried it down at his feet harmlessly. So both teams kind of feeling each other out here on the pitch. Look at that piece of dribbling from Jackson Didion. Finds Weaver. A nice piece of defense there by Renninger. It's Klein has nice piece of dribbling by Klein. Look for the cross. Good fake cross. Came to the left foot. Goes to the top of the box. Looking for West. West. Back to Getz. Near side to Klein. Klein maintains control. Walk over. Tried to nutmeg him there to the end line. But ricocheted out to touch to Canterbury. Throw in. West dummied it to himself. Watts picked it up. He's dangerous from there. Right foot off the post. Akil Watts just needs a sliver of space. Ball came down to his foot. Went bottom left corner and right off the post it went. Goalkeeper Rimschiesel did not have a chance as that's just over the top of West. Is a big, outstanding, skilled freshman for Coach Monk. Cruz Garcia, telling you, gets to a ton of 50-50 balls. Klein. Maybe after a couple of cute plays, dribbling plays over there in the corner, just needs to go right at his defender next time. Maybe can catch him off guard as Watts battles. Look at that ball to West. West just couldn't get his foot on it, but Watts sees the field so well. But that was a great cut. You hear it a lot in basketball terms of moving without the ball, but no game is out even more important than in the game of soccer, as here it comes for the Braves through ball. Looking for Williams, but that just wasn't quick enough. And ball is kicked out to touch by Renninger. Thrown here by Teamy into Didion. Didion filters back to his back end. Wild turns it over. Here comes the Braves. Need to possess just a bit as Werman tries to take it away. It's helped by West. West is going to go back to his freshman classmate. Nice little flick there by Scheiber. Very impressed by number 5 and Teamy. Very strong on the ball is number 5, Levi Teamy, the senior. There's Clayton Perry. Kuntz. Watts. Big ball out here to Klein. Headed. Teamy. Didion. And controlled by Klein. Could have been a call there on Didion, not called by the assistant referee on the near sideline. Looked like he had a good angle, but not called. Didion just needs a little bit of space, and they got to call that, absolutely. No harm on that foul, but just clipped him from the backside will always be called a penalty. As through ball, that's dangerous. Clayton Perry's there just outside the box. As Didion takes a shot, but Perry is there. 21 to play here in the first. Perry with the right-footed boot. Out at midfield to West. Scheiber flicked it to Kaufman, who's going to get to it. Slide tackle by Brown. Comes up with it. There's Scheiber. Possessed. Good ball to Klein. As Klein tried to settle it at his feet, could not. Off the chest, flick back out to Renninger. Didion just got to the ball before Getz, and that's a push going to be called on Jackson Didion. Quick restart by Getz. That's going to be a foul called there on Keaton Clay. Scheiber will produce that foul, as well as a free kick. 20:15 to play in the first half. Watts plays it back to Renninger. Renninger's going to throw it into danger. There's Scheiber. Oh, left it to Watts, but just a little bit off on the timing with Scheiber and Watts. Gatz just gets enough of it to get it to Renninger to keep possession to West. West tried to flick it to Watts, stays with it. Kaufman, look for the cross, goes to the left foot. Kuntz. Left back roll for Vandenakers. He gets a break. Watts, nice turn. And through ball to West. Look for the cross. 2 fake crosses by West. And just need to put it into danger. With all these chances, you just got to keep putting it in danger, and then making the keeper come up with saves. 19:15 to play in the first. 0-0 your score. Canterbury is here at Blackhawk Christian High School,
Logan
Fort
Lee,
Wayne, Indiana.
20. in for Canterbury.
SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Jake Atkinson on the camera. Tim Atkinson calling your play-by-play. Please check us out on @260sports, like our Facebook page. Check out our website, SummitCitySports.com. So Canterbury is still in dangerous area. Good defensive play by the Braves, and I think that was Brown, number 2, that got the flick on that. As that will roll out to touch to Canterbury. Quick throw in. Swinty. It's number 12 just in the match. Ethan Swinty, the sophomore. As a sophomore class for Coach Mock is another loaded class. Off the head of Garcia, and that was a dangerous ball. As I can guarantee you, he wasn't trying to pass that back to his keeper, but it worked out for the best. Perry was there in position at the edge of the box. Kick near the line. West heads it into danger. Here comes Schreiber. Has Lee. Watch a shot here from Schreiber. Couldn't gather on it. Good defensive play by the Braves. Lee looked to lay it back to Watts, and that's turned over. Too heavy on that touch as West takes possession. Looks for Klein. Well, there's Timey. Garcia. Renninger. Lee. Nice ball to Garcia as Garcia went right into the opening space. And just too much time taken on the ball, turned over. And here come Blackhawk Christian. Good ball. That's got to be a foul right there. That's a good ball played by number 11, Nathan Weaver, the sophomore. Outstanding young talent for Coach Freeborn as well here at Blackhawk Christian. Tons of sophomore and freshmen that are getting outstanding playing time here in their first 2 years of high school soccer. Didion shows the strength on the ball as he looked to feed. Weaver couldn't get it to him. He's going to go out for a throw-in. Substitution here. Brad Berry in for the Braves.
Brad Berry in for the Braves.
And he'll go right over there to take the throw in as he replaces Malachi Picasso. Ball into Pulver, the freshman, and it is too heavy on that touch. Kicks it out. Quick throw in here by Canterbury. Looks for Schreiber. Settles at Watts' feet. Watts, once he gets the defense backpedaling, it's over. As that's rolls out to touch to Canterbury. Swinty will take it. Throw in to Lee. Lee tried to flick it up behind. Couldn't get enough arc on it. Settled by Didion. And kicked out of danger by the Braves. Headed back in. Chested down by Swinty. Swinty dispossessed by the Braves. And here they come on attack. And that's going to be another foul on Swinty. That's going to be a yellow on Swinty. Number 12, he'll have to come out. He'll have to come out of the contest. Can come back in as a sub, but on a yellow card immediately does have to be subbed out of the match. Free kick for Blackhawk. As Getz comes back in for Swinty. Swinty just put on about 2-3 minutes on the pitch. 15 minutes to play. Free kick, right foot, off the head, and just couldn't get to it was Ethan Mansfield, the junior. Laid out, just could not get to it. Nil-nil your score here at Blackhawk Christian High School. State Street in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Obviously a couple Cavaliers fans in the crowd. Lee leaves it for Getz. And that's a great ball to Schreiber. Schreiber, can he get it past? Does. That was nicely done. Getz, Lee, the Schreiber. Schreiber put the pressure on the goalie, but that was a beautiful displayed ball by Getz. Laid it right on the money. for Scheiber. Reemschissel chose to attack the play and may be regretting that decision as Scheiber just found the angle to get that ball past the goalie for the first of the match. 1-0 your score. Canterbury on top. 14 minutes to play in the half. Garcia tracks it down. Throwing here to the Braves. Pressured by West and dispossessed by West. Back to Garcia. Garcia nicely right to Lee. Lee. He just turns and surveys the field nice. And there's Getz putting a beautiful another ball on Scheiber. And that is beautifully done by Alec Getz to Scheiber, putting it on a platter for the senior Logan Scheiber. See that midfield expertise on the ball and finding the streakers. That's Scheiber making the run at the right time and Getz picking out the right ball. 2-0 your score just like that. That's taken away again by Scheiber. And as I mentioned on that first substitution round for Coach Mock, as Canterbury is not like most squads where they'll lose talent as they sub. They just keep replacing wave after wave as Scheiber comes in right away and puts 2 goals in the back of the net. And that's the difference here so far in the first half. Kaufman back in for Klein. As I mentioned, Canterbury did stay by their choice in the Class 2A, as they could have went back to the Class 1A after playing the mandatory 2-year Class 2A schedule after winning back-to-back Class Single A championships. Have been quite lucky to see them several times there this year, along with other great soccer programs in Fort Wayne, Indiana, with the likes of Bishop Dwenger High School, Carroll, Homestead. You got your up and coming with Northrop, just to name a few. You know, Lures had a very good boys soccer club this year. Here's West. There's a ball to Lee, off the head of Lee, and just wide left of the post. Canterbury finding the holes all of a sudden with just about 11 and a half to go in the first half. 2-0 your score. It's not like Reemschissel, the keeper for Blackhawk Christian, has a lot of options to do with these balls. These are very good balls that are being just placed nicely behind him. That could have been the third goal for Canterbury as Lee flicked it, but just far left. 11 minutes to play here in the first.
Let's go, kid!
Throw in for Blackhawk Christian, as they need to get Didion in some space and let him have some forwards around him, creating that space, and see if he can pick 1 or 2 out. As not only is he a great goal scorer, but leads the team in assists as well as he shoulders that. Reniger is there. That was Ian Corbett, another one of the sophomore class for Coach Mock. Kuntz. Watts. West. West couldn't get to it. Didion. Just needs to play possession right there. Didion can make a couple defenders miss if he just holds possession with his strength and dribbling ability. As that's turned by Scheiber. Has been so impressive here in the first half since being subbed in by Coach Mock. Renninger picked out Getz, who Getz just laid it nicely to Kaufman, who crossed it in to Lee. Lee couldn't gather. And here come the Braves. Didion. This is where he's his best. Needs to just hold possession for a little longer.
Come on,
And
Sean,
let those balls
move
progress.
those legs.
Getz. Look for West. Kaufman lays it to Corbett. Corbett to Lee, flicked off Lee, and Watts volleyed off the left foot. Are you kidding me? Akil Watts on the volley. Ball came up. He decided just to play it over the shoulder, went with the right left-footed boot, and just volleyed it in the back of the net. Outstanding play by Akil Watts. Canterbury laying it on here with just under 10 to play. See the skill on display here at Blackhawk Christian High School. As Canterbury coming in here ranked 2 in the state. As laying it down on the Braves, who's a very good soccer squad in their own right, ranked 13th in the state in the Class 1A. But that skill by Akil Watts wasn't an accident. He was honorable all-state mention last year by the state of Indiana coaches. So 3-0 is your score, 8.5 to play in this first half. Warman boots it out. Quick throw in. Look for Barry. That'll roll out over the end line for a corner.
Let's go, Cavs!
I believe this is the first corner here for Blackhawk Christian, as Didion will head to the far flag. As Coach Bob Freeborn stacking the top of the box with 6 Braves, 1 on the goal line. That's Brad Berry. Didion puts a low ball in, and that's cleared out by Kuntz. Throw in. That was Clay, who turned it over to Watts. Watts has Lee. Lee has Kaufman streaking down the center of the pitch. Watts fouling it. Schreiber just in the box. Look at the skill on display by Logan Lee. Couldn't get the ball through to Getz. Picked up by Blackhawk Christian, but now by the Cavs. Lee looks for Kaufman, and that's a nice weighted ball to Kaufman. Kaufman puts it back in the box and missed Perry, and there it was, saved by his teammate, Ethan Mansfield, the junior. That would have been goal number 4 on the board if it wasn't for the heads-up play by the junior, Mansfield.
Let's go, Cavs!
Just under 7 to play here in the first. Getz, corner from the far, and Swinger with the right foot. Off the head of West, but not enough heat on that header. Excuse me, that was Renninger, I believe, that got the header on that. Save by Reem Shizzle. Nice hustle there by Kuntz, but picked back up by the Braves. Jackson Didion. Just miscommunication on the far side with Picasso. Pulver finds Didion. Didion goes by his defender. Right-footed shot, goal! One-on-one ability shown by their goal scorer, Jackson Didion. Came out the midfield and took on the defenders. Got Warman to turn and took advantage with the right foot. Put it past the freshman and Clayton Perry. We're at 3-1. Just under 6 minutes, so a little life back in here for the Braves. Don't want to give up another goal Do the Braves keep it at 3-1 minimum? If not, cut it this in half. Throw in for the Braves. Pulver, Didion. And Didion keeps going same side that he's on. This near sideline seems like there could be some openings in the midfield out wide here on the left near side for a streaking Blackhawk Christian Brave. Throw in Canterbury. Headed down by Pulver. Gets, fed it back to Kuntz, who looks for Lee. Off the head of Lee. And that's got to be a penalty as he's taken from behind. That will be a penalty shot. They will put that on the mark, as there's no card displayed. So if that was called as a penalty, it should be a card. But either way, penalty kick. Looks like the senior, Renninger, will take it with the right foot, taking on the sophomore. Hesitation, and with the right foot, tucked it right at the feet of Riemschiesel. Back to 4-1. Just as I mentioned, as Blackhawk Christian scored that goal, as they needed to keep Canterbury off the scoreboard here in this next couple minutes, but penalty given as Lee put pressure on the defense with the little flick on the head. And now we have Didion trying to take it on himself again, pressured and still regains possession. Cross in, cleared out by Renninger, Didion, and just over the crossbar for a goal kick. But you're just getting a taste of the skill and talent here in the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana, with the boys soccer, as you see it all on display in all four classes here just on this pitch alone. And he's off. That's Brad Berry, just a step offside. Free kick, Canterbury. 4 minutes to play, 4-1 your score. Canterbury on top. Scoring the first three goals, answered by Jackson Didion and the Braves. Followed there quickly after by the penalty shot. Here's Schreiber. Just couldn't get it in between the goalkeeper and that left post. Goal kick. Jonathan Williams back in the game for the Braves. Does have 4 goals, 4 assists here early in this year through the first 10. Picked off by Lee. Looked for the through ball to Kaufman. Nicely weighted. Kaufman went with the left foot, took on the shot there. Bender, but just a bit too much. Schreiber took a look, wanted that hat trick as he had the crease. Yeah, if Kaufman could have saw the angle, just could have left it. But either way, we're 4-1 still. 3 minutes to play in the first. 2 40-minute halves. We're at Blackhawk Christian High School as they're hosting Canterbury High School, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Here comes West. Corbett. Kaufman tracked down nicely by number 8, Middlebusher. Puts it in the box as Corbett. Lee. I think he was thinking about the bicycle kick for a minute. You could almost see it in his head. As Watts. Just too heavy for Lee. Comes back out to Corbett. 2:10 to play in the first half. 4-1 your score. Lee. Such class on the ball. Such poise as he heads it again. Tries to track it back down, but Kaufman does. Back to West. West split the defense, but taken away by Didion. Didion just needs to hold the ball a second or two longer, as that's cleared out by Perry. Chested to Mansfield. Good ball there. Picasso. Mansfield. Nice ball to Clay. Teamy. Middlebusher. Looks for Williams. Middlebusher regains control. Picked up by Didion. Didion will take a shot if you give him space here. Right foot. Looking for the pass. Couldn't get it, and that shot just over the crossbar by Clay. Out for a goal kick. 58 seconds here in the first half. 2 40-minute halves. Keegan Lee in the match for the Cavs, as Akil Watts will take a seat and a rest with 35 seconds to play. Vandenacker, West, Didion, Clay. Back to Didion. Perry gets to it but can't gain control. Does on the second attempt. So we'll keep that 4-1, 15 seconds to play. That'll all about do it here in the first half, as the sun is starting to set here at Blackhawk Christian High School, as that's cleared out to touch smartly by Blackhawk Christian. That's how we'll end that first half. It's 4-1. Been an exciting first half. We'll take a short break and join you for that second half coverage.
Halftime score.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Blackhawk Christian High School, where we do have Canterbury High School leading 4-1 as we get started with Blackhawk Christian on the kickoff. But that is possessed now by Canterbury. They are in all blue. Blackhawk Christian in the all white. Blackhawk Christian head coached by lead man Bob Freeborn, who was recognized before this match for his 500th varsity boys soccer match. Here's Lee. Renninger. So that first half went the first 25, 27 minutes with nothing. And back-to-back goals by Logan Scheiber, the senior forward who was subbed in by Coach Mock, and put 2 on the board right away. And that was solely distributed by the senior Alec Getz, number 20, who has the ball right there but is dispossessed by Didion. Left, Mansfield looks for Middlebusher. Tracked down by Cruz Garcia and kicked out to touch by him. Throw in for Blackhawk Christian. Long throw in to the freshman Pulver. Touch. Kept in to Middlebusher. Dispossessed by Garcia, but not kept in. Throw in for the Braves. That should go out for a corner, the first corner of the second half. 38 minutes to play in this half. Jackson Didion will head towards the far flag for the corner. Same formation for Coach Freeborn on the last corner. Didion with the right-footed in-swinger. Parried out by Perry and can't get to it. Still loose ball, blocked by Watts, and then picked up by Clayton Perry. So Perry attacked the ball as he should have, but just didn't parry it far enough. As that's a little rough talking about a goalie parry when the goalie's name is Clayton Perry. So Not to be confused. Nice heel and spin dribble there by number 5, Teamy. As if you listen to this first half, he's had a great first 40 minutes for Coach Freeborn. Lee finds Watts, has Haynes, finds Kaufman to the near side. Vandenacker overlays, gets just heavy on that first touch as that's taken away by the Braves, and here's Didion. And Didion just a little too anxious tonight on his through balls, needs to hold possession just a tad. That's touched out by Vandenacker. Throw in for Blackhawk Christian. Sub in early within the first 4 minutes of this second half as Jarrett Daly checks in, number 1, the junior for Blackhawk Christian. Vandenacker shields, try to let the ball roll out over the end line. It does for a goal kick. 4-1 your score. Canterbury Cavaliers on top. Pretty much locked up 0-0 through the first 25 minutes or so of the first half until Alec Getz picked out Schreiber on 2 runs that led to 2 goals. Here's Kaufman, tries to settle it down, does. Haynes. Vandenacker. Look for Klein. Popped away from him and settled by Didion. Double teamed by the Canterbury Cavaliers, taken away by Pulver. That was Clay. Looked for Mansfield. Mansfield still battling Pulver. Knocked it to Williams, who left it for the sub, Daly. Middlebusher tried to make a run, but that was cut off by Canterbury. Chested down by Didion. There's the freshman Pulver as Haynes tried to take it away but couldn't. Settled at Middlebusher on the far side. Williams. Williams still possesses. Cleared out by Garcia. Mansfield. Garcia settled by Watts. Watts sees Lee. Numbers aren't there unless that got over the head. It did not. Lee is so crafty with positioning his body and just getting a flick on the head out into open space and then uses the speed to run it down as Haynes flicked it to Lee nicely. Settle back to Kaufman. Give and go as Klein made a run. And there's Daly left it right to Lee. Lee, nice easy shot, and that was saved by Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown, the senior backer for Coach Freeborn, saved a goal off the foot of Logan Lee, who saw the open net with Reem Shizzle out off his line. 4-1 gets to take the right-footed outswinger with the far corner post. Off the head of Klein. Just far wide right of the post. Out to Garcia, tried to put it back into the attack. Gets, finds Haynes. Haynes takes a shot, right-footed shot, and mishandled at first by the sophomore, then gathered. 4-1, 33 minutes to play here in the match. 4-1. Canterbury on top of the hosting school, Blackhawk Christian. This is 2A Canterbury on top of the 1A Blackhawk Christian. And the classes are misleading as I've mentioned, the Canterbury High School has chosen to stay in the 2A after playing their mandatory 2 years after winning 2 back-to-back state championships in Class 1A. Didion looked for the head. Cruz Garcia looked for Getz. Getz finds Lee. Lee tried to flick it to Watts, who does keep it in. Watts surveys. Lee tried to leave it back. No one there for Cavaliers, as that's a late challenge by Didion. That looked like right on the instep of the foot, right foot, as Logan Lee will walk it off. Watts surveys. Daly, Pulver. Daly mishandled that, and that was picked by Klein. Klein looks for the cross, fakes it. Left-footed cross, and that can't reach up with Kaufman as Vandenacker tries to track it down, but does not. Rolls out to touch, and it does. That's going to stay with Canterbury. 31.5 to play here in the match. 4-1 your score. Long throw in to Watts. Watts, nice dummy. Look for the right foot, but that was deflected out for a corner. Again, this is SummitCitySports.com, bringing you this varsity boys soccer action from Blackhawk Christian. Thanks to Parkview Hospital. Corner for Getz, right-footed in-swinger. Went near post, need out by the Braves. And Cooper Wild. Here's Vandenacker surveying. Went with the left foot and wasn't trying to shoot it on goal there. I think he just hit that as he was trying to cross it into the box to Jamison Klein. Couldn't get it to him. Ryan Shizzle. Header missed by Williams to Renninger. Here comes Klein. Klein looked for the cross, has Lee and Kaufman. Good sliding tackle by Brown, who's come up with a couple great defensive stops. Good leave to Haynes, and Haynes just leaning back too much on that shot. Needs to get up over the ball, get squared up on it, as that was left nicely right to the foot of Jack Haynes. Just can't put it through. 4-1, Canterbury on top of Blackhawk Christian, 30 minutes to play. That's going to go out to touch to Canterbury. This played on the far sideline. Into Lee. Lee has tons of space there. So does Getz. Freshman tries to close down on Getz. Couldn't find West. Pulver, Didion, 50-50 ball with Haynes, and that's going to end up with Lee. Lee, nice sweeping ball to Klein. Klein, right-footed cross, near post, and that was about an own goal off the foot of Keaton Clay. Looked like it got a piece of the boot. The rim shizzle was there. Big kick off the head of Vandenacker. How about that? Right to the feet of Logan Lee. Lays it back to Getz and turns and goes. And if that got over the head of the last defender, and Brown would have been some danger. Here's West. Kaufman. Right-footed cross. Looking for Klein. Mishit by Daly, but just enough to get it to Mansfield. That was Weaver and Garcia going after it as Klein comes in. Daly outlets out, and here come the Braves. Has Picasso here, but couldn't get it to him. Could Didion. Didion cuts that off. Vandenacker and him, 50-50 ball. Sells up Vandenacker. Back to Haynes, to Vandenacker. Kaufman. Vandenacker. Haynes. Kaufman. Throw in here. Cooper Wild, another freshman for Coach Freeborn. Long throw in to Picasso. Vandenacker's there. Good pass to Kaufman. Kaufman heads it out to Lee. Lee sets up his defender so well. As that's left to West, who's in the center field's got Lee. Lee showing his speed. Went with the right-footed bender just off the post. Logan Lee took the through ball from West, set himself up with the right-footed bender, went top right angle and couldn't get it in off the post. Stays 4-1. Ball rolls up on Kaufman, dangerous kick, but headed out by Wild. Mass substitutions for Coach Mock. As that's the first time we'll get to see number 1, Kai Caudill. Keegan Lee. Vandenacker look to throw. 27 to play. Lee dispossessed by Rogers. Didion has a streaker and had on the near side. Picasso chose to go far side. Picks him out. So cut it back. Daly filters back to his defense for help. The team defense by Canterbury. Pulver picks out Picasso, who just cannot control. Rolls out to touch to Canterbury. Vandenacker to throw in. That's Warman. Ryan Warman, the sophomore, in replacement of Max Moyle. Gets taken away by the freshman. Caudill trying to battle with Clay. Clay looked to get it through to Didion. Could not. Clay retains possession. Left-footed pass as Garcia tried to track it down but could not. Eventually controlled by Canterbury. Shiver. Shiver with 2 goals all in the first half. Ball to Lee. Lee has Caudill. Caudill makes a different angle run. That's going to go off Blackhawk Christian. That should be a corner. And not sure why he pointed to the far flag, as that should be near flag. Gatz will hustle over to the near corner flag for the corner. 25 minutes to play, 4-1 your score. Gatz with the right-footed in-swinger. It's Keegan Lee on the goal line. Went near post towards him. Cleared out by the Braves. Out to Didion. Didion lays it to Picasso. Vandenacker. 50-50 ball with Picasso. Does battle through it. West. Great spin dribble to maintain possession for the Cavs. Renninger look for the through ball. And trying to match up to Lee. Can't get it to him. Excuse me, that was Shiver. Jonathan Williams. Back to Clay. Max Rogers. Didion. Didion. Right-footed cross. Tries to put it in the box. Picked up by Garcia. Turns the corner and clears it up the sideline to Shiver. Don't see a whole lot of balls for Canterbury here in this match that haven't been with a purpose. They've been on top of their game here this evening, especially through the first 60 minutes or so. Malachi Picasso with the right-footed kick. Can't get it through as that's blocked by Canterbury. Battle is still going on in the box and cleared out. Lee trying to track it down, turned over by Blackhawk Christian. Lee puts the ball into space like he likes to do to use the speed, but there was number 13, Max Rogers. Perry out, knocks it out. That's a dangerous spot as Didion tries to settle it to put it on goal, and just heavy. His first touch failed him as Renninger hustled back and caused the kick out to touch. As I missed what happened there on the corner, as we will have a free kick for Canterbury. Not sure if it was an offside on a quick throw in or what have you, but either way. Caudill left it for West. West is so good on the ball. Gives you these little shoulder shakes as Caudill just can't run it down. with the freshman, number 18 in blue, Braden West, has 4 goals on the year. As Logan Schreiber with his 2 goals tonight, show him at 3 goals on the year. Garcia. West. West chose to go with the right-footed shot. That was actually blocked by his teammate and Caudell. Renninger finds Caudell. Nice sweeping pass to West as West is on a run. Comes back to Caudell. 21.5 to play here in the match. To Lee. Just too heavy. That was Keegan Lee to Logan Lee. Too heavy on the pass. Picked up by Reem Shizzle. As I mentioned, the outstanding talent that we have in the Fort Wayne and surrounding area. These 2 squads obviously on display here tonight, and the Class 2A ranked 2nd Canterbury Cavaliers. As here come the 13th ranked Class 1A Braves trying to cut into this 4-1 goal margin. Headed down, but just out to touch, couldn't control it. But as I mentioned, Canterbury at 2A in Class 2A. They're ranked number 2 at 13, another local school in Carroll High School. At 18th, Homestead, the Spartans. At 19, just making the top 20 is DeKalb. And Leo just outside the top 20 as an honorable mention. That's just in the Class 2A top 20 standings. 5 schools here in Fort Wayne and the surrounding area. In the 1A, just Blackhawk Christian repping the city of Fort Wayne. Girls not out to be done by the boys, as Carroll is ranked number 10 in 2A here in the state, with Canterbury girls ranked number 4 in Class 1A. Close goal there, as that could have been 5-1, as that rolled right through the box and was untouched, rolled right through and out harmlessly. Throw in for Blackhawk Christian. Warman, Caudell, Lee, Caudell, Kuntz. That was a great cross into Caudell. Caudell tried to flick it with the right, just went far right of the far post. But good attack by Canterbury and Coach Mock's Cavs. Just under 19 to play here in the match. We're at Blackhawk Christian High School, SummitCitySports.com. Brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Jake Atkinson on the camera. Tim Atkinson calling your play-by-play. Lee just got a poke on it. Forces the long forced ball, settled by Warman. Ricochet. Bounced around. Lee. Warman. Logan Lee. Chess. Sails to the feet. Didion. Has Picasso streaking. Turns the defender, but there is Renninger. Has been that back line defense all night for Coach Mock. Here's Schreiber to West. Getz, very strong on the ball. Tried to lay it for Lee. Couldn't get it to him. Turned over, but back to Cavs. Lee, Schreiber, he's onside. Schreiber, good hesitation. Takes it down towards the end line, cuts it back into the pitch. Surveys, comes back out to Getz. Getz throws it into the box, but there's the keeper. who was not settled on that at all, as Logan Lee was there for the deflection, but gathered. 4-1. Still your score. Settled by Clay. Look for the freshman, Pulver. And cleared out by Canterbury.
Robin Garcia and
Doesn't
Bradbury
get easier for
Braves.
Blackhawk Christian. After tonight's
Nick
match,
Clark
they will play
and Keegan
Thursday
McCardle in for
at the
Cavaliers.
Plex against Bishop Dwenger High School, who's tied for first in the Summit Athletic Conference. For Canterbury, they will travel to Floyd Knobs, Indiana to take on Floyd Central. Excuse me, that game is at Canterbury High School. They'll host on Friday. They'll host Floyd Central. As this season's starting to wind down, as the pairings will get set towards the end of September. Sectional start beginning of October, which Summit City Sports obviously is extremely looking forward to. With the amount of talent in the sectional here locally, it's going to be nothing but great soccer matches with the likes of Homestead and Carroll and Dwenger, Northrop, all in the same sectional. Here's West. That's a collision. That's going to be called on West. Free kick to Blackhawk Christian. Look to break out Picasso. That was Kuntz in line. That was a good ball to Lee, cut off by the Braves. But that ricocheted off the shins, settles down at the end line, and cleared out nicely by the Braves. Kuntz flicks it up to his teammate. That's Mick Clark, the sophomore, who's in on the pitch for the first time. There's a through ball by Didion. He looked for Barry, couldn't get it to him. Out to touch. Didion tried to take on the defender and Renninger, but Renninger was up for the task, as he usually is. That was a good ball, played back into danger. Settles down, top of the box. As Lee flicks it out. As Coach Mott going with several subs here. Keeping Renninger in, though, to anchor that back four. West came up on Pulver. Gatz clears it out over the midline. Clay tracks it down. Over near side to Rogers. Headed. West. Mick Clark. Lee. Back heel pass to Clark. Clark. Nice pass to West. West goes right through a couple defenders. Good pass to Lee, but defensed beautifully and closed out it once again by number 12 Mansfield. Canterbury on an attack, 13.5 to play in the match. 4-1 your score. Canterbury on top of Blackhawk Christian. Renninger to track it down. That's McCardle. Keegan McCardle, just another one of the sophomores for Coach Mock. That's Corbett. Shocker, I know, a sophomore. Lee gets possession of the ball, the end line. What a piece of dribbling there. And the pass to West, and good save by Reem Shizzle, as that would have been another goal on the board. Good pass by Logan Lee to Braden West. West just couldn't get it past the keeper, couldn't get enough muster on it with the right-footed kick. Corner. Getz, right-footed, outswinger on the whistle. Here it is. And that's Caudill with the head and headed out by Pulver, the freshman for the Braves. Tracked down by Kuntz. Pulver. Throw in for Blackhawk Christian. Quick throw in as Canterbury tried to keep in the attacking zone and still have a chance. Dangerous head. McCardle. Here's West in the midfield. Didn't have the angle, but that's picked up by number 6, Smits. And over the crossbar, goal kick. Just under 12 to play here in the match, 4-1. Been a great match on display. These two outstanding schools, well-respected programs here in the state of Indiana. Canterbury Cavalier program run by Coach Greg Mock, and the Blackhawk Christian program ran by Coach Bob Freeborn. Here's Didion going past 3 players, takes a right-footed shot, low skipping. That's the keeper in replacement of Perry. That was Tanner. That's Merritt Lamb, the sophomore. Clark, McCardle, Lamb. And that's Lee trying to settle it. Excuse me, not Lee. Smits. Good defensive play by McCardle. And Kuntz tried to release his teammate. And Smits, the junior. Smits with a bit of speed. Headed up by McCardle, who's not afraid to get in there. Kuntz dispossesses the Blackhawk Christian player. Out to touch to Canterbury. 10.5 as we have a sub on the field. Gatz will take a seat, I'm sure, for the remaining of the match as Jack Haynes checks back in. Great, well-rounded roster does Coach Mock have with sophomores, juniors, West and the freshman, and Perry is a freshman, and the outstanding seniors. Smits. That was a great pass to Lee. Lee couldn't control it. Also had Caldwell on the far side if it could get through, but it did not. Picked up by Didion. Haynes tried to take control, couldn't get it. And that ball is just too heavy as Lamb's there. 9.5 to play. Canterbury High School on top, 4-1. Didion settles at his feet. Taking on McCardle. Pass went just behind the streaking Picasso. Looks like he just sprained an ankle there as he's trying to walk it off. Lamb with the kick. Low line drive kick. Once again picked up by Didion. Didion through ball to Middlebush. Middlebusher crosses it in off the head of Picasso. Out for a goal kick. Just under 9 to play.
Let's go, Jack.
As once again, this is Tim Atkinson, SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Hospital. Our next match will be this Thursday out at the Plex. Or excuse me, we'll be at Carroll for Northrop at Carroll. Smits has West in front of him, just too heavy. So that came back down to West, who finds Clark all alone on the near side. Ball got through somehow, but Daly kicked it out, and Haynes missed the volley with the right foot. Kuntz back into Haynes. Haynes went with the left foot, took on the freshman. Ball came down to Didion. Didion, once again, through ball, no one there. As there's Lamb to control. Seven and a half to play here at Blackhawk Christian High School on State Street here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Good ball by Smits. Looking for Caudill, couldn't get it to him. Renninger's there. One player Coach Mock has not taken out is the senior defender, Brandon Renninger. Seven minutes in the match. We'll try to get down after the match for some post-game interviews for you. Hopefully get you both coaches, Coach Freeborn and Coach Mock, along with a couple players from each squad. Kuntz. Good head, but still corralled and possessed by Canterbury. Still is. Clark stays on his feet, crosses it in, and that's a goal. I wanted to call it a goal so bad as Smits was there wide open. Good pass by number 2, Mick Clark. Boy, I wish Smits had that one back as he does, just far left of the post. Had the keeper beat. Score stays 4-1. Controlled by Canterbury. There's Renninger. Smits. Out to touch to Blackhawk Christian. So been a quiet game for the leading goal scorer for the Canterbury Cavaliers in Akil Watts, who has 8 goals on the year through 9 games. But it has not been needed, has controlled his game in the midfield. And Logan Lee has had an outstanding game with the likes of Alec Getz. And of course, Logan Schreiber. Logan Lee's been outstanding here tonight, as usual. As West is alone here at the midfield. Gonna try and late it. Can't get it to it. Kuntz. As Picasso tries to track it down. McCardle flicks it to Kuntz. And just out the reach of West. Battle to Didion. Excuse me, that's number 3, Clay. And look for the through ball to Picasso. That's going to stay in. It will not roll out over the end line for a goal kick. Just under 5 minutes to play in the match. Canterbury on top 4-1. Here's Lamb, backup goalkeeper for Coach Mock with the goal kick. Settles by the Braves. That was Daly. Kicked it off the leg of Davidson. Out to touch for Canterbury. It's going to stay, throw in. Long throw in, headed out by Corbett. Just under 4 to play. 4-1 your score. Canterbury on top. Has been in control as we were scoreless through the first about 30 minutes of the match. But then Canterbury did break out with 2 quick goals by Logan Schreiber. Then went up 3-0. Blackhawk Christian fouled that up with a Jackson Didion goal. Just one-on-one, pure skill by Jackson Didion. As we'll have a free kick here at the top of the box. This is a dangerous spot as Jackson Didion. We'll take a look. The wall is set up. Looks like we'll have a 4-man wall. Didion goes low, and that's a goal. Jackson Didion beat the post on the near side, didn't put it in the air. That ball just skipped on the ground, stay low, went bottom left corner. That's Didion's second goal of the match. It's 4-2, 3 minutes to play here at Blackhawk Christian as Jackson Didion's showing the skill. As the 2 goals for Coach Freeborn have been of the right foot of Jackson Didion. Rolls out to touch. And that was actually an offside called by the assistant referee. Haynes couldn't control it. Here comes Didion again in the Braves. Just couldn't connect to Picasso as Coons swept it out to Clark. Corbett being pressured on the far side. That was Weaver. Here's Didion. Mansfield lost control. Picked up by Smits. Nice pass to Lee. Picked up by Haynes. Haynes had a bunch of space over here, but misdribbled. But that would be a quick foul called. That'll be a foul called on number 13, Max Rogers, as Haynes was putting pressure on the defense. 4-2 your score, minute 45 to play here in the match. West. That's West and Haynes. As now it'll be West alone with the right foot. Leaves it. Corbett crosses it in, off the head. That was a pass attempt by Clark. May have been wiser just to put it at the goal, as that's still danger at the top of the box. Down to West, being pressured by Didion. Stays with it, does West. West, nice piece of dribbling. Once again, goes by the defender and knocked out for a corner. Short corner for Canterbury. Smart move, 45 seconds to play. 40 seconds, 4-2 your score. Canterbury has been in control of this match since the first goal on the board at the 27-minute mark. But we'll hop down and get you some interviews after this match, as we have 15 seconds left. Box, ball still at the top of the box. There's Haynes. And 1 second, and that will be the end of the match. So it does end 4-2. What a great match we had on display here at Blackhawk Christian. I'd like to thank Parkview Hospital for Jake Atkinson on the camera. I am Tim Atkinson. This has been SummitCitySports.com.
Great job, everyone.
All right, Coach Freeborn, obviously not the outcome you wanted here tonight on the losing end here, 4-2. Can you tell me what you thought the difference was in tonight's match here against Canterbury?
When you play a team like Canterbury, you can't afford to make very many mistakes. And then we had a pretty good start to the game. First 25 minutes were not bad, and we did a decent job defending and created a few chances, and then had those 2 goals with about 15 minutes to go in the half. That just kind of changed the momentum of the whole match right there. So, I mean, with credit to Canterbury, they're fast and they're quick on those counterattacks, and we made some mistakes, and so that put us in a little bit of a hole.
And you mentioned the 2 plays there. You guys were matching them, end for end for the first, 25, 27 minutes of the game. And those 2 balls from Getz to Shiver up top is what broke it through. Is that something you're going to take out maybe of today's game, is maybe pressuring that midfield a little bit more? Or is it not one thing? Is it several things you just need to take a look at and see where to go from here next? I think you got Dwenger next.
Yeah, we have Dwenger next. We've had a good run here in the last couple weeks. We've played some pretty good teams. That's one thing that needs to be fixed, and then just what we do in the attacking third needs to be fixed in transition. We've got some issues there about how to create some better chances with some combination play that we're not doing right now. We just kind of run away from the ball, and then we end up just playing the ball back to them, basically. And so that's something to address in tomorrow's practice and to get better at. And every game, we just try to take one thing away and improve on that and try to build our group as best that we can. We had a very bad start to the entire season, but they've kind of rebuilt themselves a little bit and come along. So we're anxious to get further down the road and on into the state tournament, and we'll do a good job there.
Awesome, Coach. Well, congratulations on a successful career so far, and the run last year, and hopefully another run here this year.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Standing here with the sophomore Logan Lee, another good game for you. Very impressed how you never stop moving out there on the pitch. On all the matches that I've seen, it seems like you really take control of your pace in the midfield. Is that a big part of your game? Can you take me through kind of your mindset of your game?
I work as hard as I can every game and just do what I can to help the team.
Now, as far as I see you doing a lot of setting your body up, as far as setting the defender up on those head balls and those couple bounces, is that something that you've worked on through your young soccer life with just the body control and setting up your defender?
It's been something that I've been taught throughout my life, yeah, and I've worked on it, yeah.
Awesome. Now you guys are having a great year so far, but obviously winning and going to states is the number one thing. Can you tell me what you guys need to improve as a team to be able to get this run for another state title for you guys?
Just a little bit more combination play and simple passing, yeah.
Awesome. Well, great game, and we'll look forward to seeing the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm standing here with Jackson Didion. Great game. 2 goals on the board were because of your right foot. You're very impressive on the ball with your strength and shielding your defenders. Tell me kind of what your mindset and what you think your game is and what you bring to the pitch every night.
I just try to keep my team going and pushing, even if it's against the odds, and I try to boost their confidence and just keep pushing the game towards the other side of the field.
Now, playing a great program in Canterbury, I'm sure this prepares you guys for your Class 1A state run that you're going to try and make here this year. What are you taking out of tonight's game that's going to help get you guys to that state run?
I think the quality of Canterbury, I don't think we'll face any better, and I think when we come against teams not as good as Canterbury, we'll have our advantage and experience on the game.
Awesome, Jackson. Well, great match here tonight. Just came on the losing end, but great match. You're a great player and fun to watch.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Standing here with Coach Greg Mock. Another good game here for you. Good match for you guys. Came out on the winning end against a very good program in Blackhawk Christian. Those 2 balls from Getz to Schreiber really opened up that offense for you. Can you tell me a little bit what was going through your head as you saw those balls happening?
Well, just thrilled that we were playing some dangerous through balls, and Logan was making some slashing runs, which we weren't getting prior to that. And Getz saw him and played it, and there was quality finishes. Logan's had some unlucky finishes in the past, and today he took advantage of it.
And it seems like hustle usually pays off. You keep putting yourself in the right position, it's going to end up paying off for you.
Well, you try to tell them that, and you hope it works, and I thought it did today for a couple of guys.
Awesome. Now, Kemp 4-2, like we mentioned, good game here. Now, the overall picture is a state run here that you're building up to into the playoffs. I know you're looking at one game at a time, but overall, what's your feeling on the form of the Canterbury Cavaliers boys varsity here so far?
Well, we're better than we were a month ago, but we're not as good as we need to be a month from now. So we've got a couple guys that are dinged up a little, so we'll work our way through that. But I think we're making progress, and hopefully we'll continue to do so. They seem to be interested in working hard and getting there, so I think we'll be okay.
Awesome, Coach Mock. Well, another good match here for you tonight. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, and congratulations to Coach Freeborn on that 500 mark.
Awesome.